Hi. I don't know if you've heard, but there's a new PS5 game that's just come out called Horizon Forbidden West. And for the last couple of days, I've been playing quite a bit of it. And I thought I'd give you guys my first impressions. I'm not going to be going through any spoilers in this video. It's going to be completely just talking about the mechanics of the game, how I'm liking it, and what I think it's improved from the last iteration. And let me tell you, there is a lot of improvements in this game. Horizon Forbidden West is a sequel to the PS4 game Horizon Zero Dawn that came out a couple of years ago. And it follows this post-apocalyptic world where there are basically robot dinosaurs roaming around. And in the first game, you find out why the world has ended up as it is, and you also find out the origins of the main character Aloy, and you follow her and her friend's adventure into saving the world, basically. Forbidden West picks up directly after the finish of the first game, and it follows Aloy once again, and this time her journey into saving the world once again, from a slightly different threat. But the main thing here is that Guerrilla Games have just taken everything good about Horizon Zero Dawn and just massively improved it. From the graphics to the voice acting, the animation, the world, the way that the world is alive and kind of feels like it's a realistic open world, to the gameplay, the skill trees, the progression, and they've now added like a new upgrade crafting system. It's crazy how much they've improved. Not to say the last game was bad at all, because it wasn't, but this is just a massive step up. We're going more in depth on the systems. The gameplay feels more clean. The load times are non-existent. The graphics is absolutely insane. Playing this on a 4K TV on the PS5, it just looks phenomenal. I wouldn't say it's the best looking PS5 game, but it is definitely up there. It looks absolutely amazing. And the models, the character models blew me away. The way they have created these characters to look like real people and they just look spot on just amazes me. Talking about the characters, one thing I've noticed in my short amount of time with the game is how much better the voice acting is. Every character, not only are they voice acted very well, but they've also got mannerisms. They move their arms when they talk and they feel realistic. And the conversations they have together are so believable. That's one thing I really picked up on, is actually how believable the conversations were, how well they flowed, and how realistic the characters look with their hand movements and the way they change their pitch and tone. And it's really, really phenomenal. And massive props to the mocap team and the voice acting team, because, geez, well done, well done. Graphics wise, I believe it runs 30 frames per second in the like high fidelity mode, and then 60 frames per second in the performance mode. But from my experience with the game so far, 30 frames per second is absolutely fine, and the improvement on the graphics is way worth taking that down. I believe that's kind of the recommended way to play it as well from quite a lot of people that have reviewed the game, in that the graphics are just so good and it feels really fluid on the 30 frames per second. Performance wise, as I said, the loading screen's non-existent. On the PS5, you're snapping into the game just like that, and everything's rendered in real time as well. So you're looking, I believe all the cutscenes are rendered like in world, so sometimes they're a little bit clunky, but you have to think like the technology that's going into that is really phenomenal. And again, there's no loading screens. Nothing is being loaded when you're going into a cutscene. It's insane to me how quickly you're in the game. It's just like Spider-Man Miles Morales. You're literally snapping straight into the world, and I love it. So they're my two main positives. The graphics and the voice acting is definitely the most phenomenal thing they've achieved so far. But they didn't just improve that. They also improved some of the gameplay elements. So we've got the same weapons, basically the same weapons as the last game, but now they have new trees and upgrades that you can use to make the weapons better. There's a new thing called a workbench, and they're based in every settlement in the game, and you can use these workbenches to upgrade your gear, to upgrade your armor, your traps, and your weapons. And it all involves crafting materials that you collect throughout the world. But it allows you to kind of take a more personal approach to the way that you're playing the game, because you can upgrade certain weapons that you prefer to use and leave other ones to the side. The same with the armor. You're upgrading what you want to upgrade. And to take it one step further, it's not just the weapons and the equipment that you're upgrading. There's also a really varied skill tree now. I believe it's 6 or 7 different categories that you can upgrade into, and you build down the tree. There's like upgrading your traps, upgrading your bow abilities, upgrading your melee abilities, upgrading your ability to take take over the machines, and there's just so many upgrades that you can apply, and you're getting skill points fairly fast. So I really enjoyed the progress I was making at the start into upgrading things so quickly, and I could see my character getting better and better, and I really enjoyed that. The skill trees and the amount of customization in this game, absolutely phenomenal. And then the last thing I want to talk about is how the game has made the world feel a lot more alive. As I'm traveling around the open world, I'm constantly finding new things to do, and I keep running into like machines attacking people, and you do it and then they reward you with something. It's just kind of this idea that the world is alive. There are people in this world, and you can travel around, you can do whatever you want, but then you get sidelined and you find these new things, a lot like Ghost of Tsushima, where it was constantly sidelining me. I'm finding myself very sidelined in this one too. Not a bad thing whatsoever. For a believable open world and for a good open world game, this is what you need to do, and Horizon does it really well. I have got a couple of negatives, and it's mainly just to do with the blockiness of the graphics sometimes. Sometimes they're clicking in and it's not 100% loaded, but I think that's because it is being loaded in real time. It's not something I can fault necessarily, but it isn't always the most fluid it could be. And one thing in particular that's always kind of glitching out is Aloy's hair. I think that's something that games haven't quite figured out yet. But literally from about 4 or 5 hours worth of playtime, that is my only downfall so far, is the fact that there's a couple of graphical issues. In 4 or 5 hours for a game, I think it's fair to say if that's your only downfall, it's a pretty great game. That sentence there perfectly describes what I think of Horizon so far. I'm going to be putting a lot more hours into it this week before Elden Ring comes out on Friday, but I'm hoping I'm going to really enjoy it, and so far I can't do anything but recommend the game, especially for people that enjoyed the first one, because it is just the first one but better. And then for people that have got PS5 and you're looking for something to play, it's definitely worth grabbing. So there you go, that's my first impressions of Horizon Forbidden West. Absolutely awesome game, super enjoying it so far. Just a shame that it had to come out the week that Elden Ring does. Damn. So guys, what do you think of Horizon Forbidden West, and have you got any questions for me? If you do, leave them down below and let me know your thoughts on the game so far. If you're looking to buy any manga or comic books, please be sure to use my affiliate links down below. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and tinkle that notification bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.